Hello everyone, welcome back to YK Reviews, welcome back to another weekly entertainment news videos. We have so many casting announcements for different types of movies such as Jurassic World, Knives Out, He-Man, along with some updates when it comes to Blade and the Welcome to Derry show. So let's just dive right into it. So before we dive into it, because there is going to be a lot to talk about here, so I'm going to try and cram everything in just so the video doesn't go on for too long. But quick shout out, I am going to be on a live stream on Anthony Perez's channel. I'll link his channel in the description down below. It's going to be me, him and Blacktastic Media as we're discussing Avengers Infinity War as he's working his way through the Marvel movies. So I'm going to be on that live stream at 12 PM Eastern Standard Time. Again, link to his channel will be in the description down below. Would love to have you guys on there. And if you are new to the channel, we do these videos every single week talking about movie news, TV news, sometimes Lego and even video game news. So if you like that type of stuff, do consider hitting that subscribe button. And we also do movies and TV series reviews. I just posted my review for Under the Bridge, the latest Hulu crime drama series based on a true story. So that's posted. I'll post that somewhere around here as well. You can go check that out. So do smash the subscribe button, hit the like button, share the video, hit notification, or just all that YouTube stuff, as my goal is to try and reach 500 subscribers. Also, when it comes to these types of videos, timestamps are going to be in the description down below. Anything you're more interested in, anything you want to skip around to, timestamps will be in the description down below for all the movie news we're going to discuss. So let's kick things off with the first trailer that I want to talk about here, with the trailer of Moana 2. This came out earlier this week and it's basically the sequel to the first Moana. So it's the animated movie, because there is going to be a live action movie along with the animated movie. This one was supposed to be a Disney Plus series, but I'm guessing because these series never do well on the platform, they decided to make it into a movie, which I'm honestly kind of glad we did, because the trailer itself, it looks pretty good in terms of like the animations. You do get that series vibe to it, but overall, with it being a teaser, you don't really see much in terms of what the plot is. But we do have an understanding here, because they did release the plot synopsis here, with it showing here: after receiving an unexpected call from her Wayfinder ancestors, Moana must journey to the far seas of the Oceania and into dangerous, long-lost waters for an adventure unlike anything she's ever faced. And you also see it in the trailer with Maui also coming back, being voiced by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So again, does look pretty interesting. I'm a huge fan of the first Moana. So one I'll probably be checking out. Most likely we'll be taking my son as well to check this out as well, since he is a fan of the first Moana. You've seen the trailer, what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section down below. But for the next trailer that I want to talk about is one I genuinely was not expecting. It's called Wolves, starring Danny Ocean and Rusty, for those Ocean 11's fans out there, starring George Clooney and Brad Pitt. It's an Ocean's 11 reunion, and this trailer just hooks me in right there. You basically have these two agents who do these cleanup services, who basically get called to the same job and they're having to work together. And like I said, huge fan of Ocean's 11, favorite movie of all time, and this I believe is the first time they're in a movie together since Ocean's 13. I could be wrong, but I'm just guessing with that, and it's just great to see them. Their chemistry has not been lost. Love also the cinematography, the direction, because this is going to be directed by John Watts, who directed the Spider-Man trilogy with Tom Holland, and you do see some amazing shots in there, some slow motion sequences that you get in there. It's just like a dark nighttime vibe as well. So this trailer immediately hooked me in. A movie I'm definitely checking out when it hits theaters. But if you've seen the trailer, what are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comment section below. Does this appeal to you? Will you be checking it out? Let me know down below. Okay, so for the next news story, the first news story we're going to be talking about here is the update when it comes to the Project Hail Mary movie. I spoke about this, I think it was like 3-4 weeks ago when they first actually announced this. This is going to be starring Ryan Gosling and Sandra Hüller. Apologies if I butchered that name. She was in Anatomy of a Fall. So coming from the deadline saying Anatomy of a Fall star Sandra Hüller to co-star opposite Ryan Reynolds in a Project Hail Mary adaptation for Amazon MGM Studios with Amy Pascal and Lord and Miller. So Lord and Miller will be directing the film, with Pascal producing, and the film basically follows a man who wakes up from a coma afflicted with amnesia and soon remembers he was sent 12 light years away from Earth to save humanity. Immediately I was hooked in. Ryan Gosling has been getting a lot of eyes on him, so going from The Fall Guy to Barbie. So not only from that, but you've got the directors from the Spider-Verse movie, so Phil Lord and Chris Miller. I'm immediately hooked when it comes to this. So this is one I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on, with this giving me the Interstellar vibes to it when it comes to like the type of movie that it's going to be producing. But you see this cast, you hear this premise, what are your thoughts? Will you be checking it out? Will you give it a miss? Let me know down in the comment section below. Okay, now for the next news story, I think I talked about this last week, where the movie Crime 101 was coming out. This is starring Chris Hemsworth along with with Mark Ruffalo, but we have got more casting news when it comes to this movie. So coming from the Deadline, confirming here that Barry Keoghan is in talks to join the Amazon MGM Studios adaptation of Don Winslow's Crime 101. Now, if you haven't checked out last week's video, basically the movie is about the heist thriller following high-level jewel thefts taking place up and down the Pacific coast, where a detective zeroes in on a thief looking for a final score. And it is going to be released, confirming, in theaters next year. So a really good casting with this. So not only do you have Thor and Hulk, you've got now Druid from the Eternals part of the movie, so a lot of Marvel actors now being a part of this project. But seriously, no, this movie honestly really is intriguing to me. I'm really looking forward to be checking this one out once we get the first trailer. I've got my eyes on this. So you see this and you hear this, what are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comment section below. Okay, now for the next news story, we have got an interesting announcement when it comes to Sherlock Holmes. So coming from the Variety, confirming here, Amazon orders young Sherlock Holmes series starring Hero Fennes Tiffin, apologies if I butchered that name, with Guy Ritchie set to direct. Now, first off, when it comes to the actor, I'll be honest, I've not seen him in any previous roles. I know that he was part of the Ministry of Ungentleman Warfare movie I haven't checked out yet. I don't know if it's just me though, but he really reminds me of Paul Walker, his face. He looks a lot like Paul Walker from the Fast and Furious movies. But in the article it's stating here that this is going to be an 8-episode series with Guy Ritchie attached to direct and executively produce the series, with him also returning to this franchise because he's the one that directed both the Sherlock Holmes movie with Robert Downey Jr. and Jude Law. Movies I honestly actually really enjoyed. I do prefer the first one over the second one, but both equally entertaining movies. If you haven't checked out, highly recommend those. But in the article it is showing here that we're going to see an exhilarating new version of the detective everyone thinks they know in a way they've never imagined before. As Ritchie said, we're going to crack open this enigmatic character, find out what makes him tick, and learn how he becomes the genius we all love. Now, basically it's kind of sounding like it's a prequel to, possibly not the Robert Downey Jr. version, but like just a prequel to like Sherlock Holmes itself. I will be honest, my expectations is sort of in the middle. Like, I'm not expecting huge things from this. I don't think we need this, but it has got potential. It could be good. With Guy Ritchie, he's definitely like a hit and miss when it comes to like his movies. Like I said, the first 2 Sherlock Holmes movies are really enjoyable, but this being a prequel, this showing like a younger version of him, I don't know how that's going to go down, but it is pretty intriguing. I'm kind of interested to see what they're going to do with it. But you see this and you hear this, what are your thoughts? Would you be checking it out? Does it sound interesting to you? Will you give it a complete miss? Let me know down in the comment section below. Now for the next news story, I'll be honest, this one I'm not too heavily interested in, but I wanted to throw it out there for those of you that are fans of this. But we have got an announcement when it comes to who's going to be playing He-Man in the movie that's been delayed so many times. But coming from the Variety, confirming here that Nicholas Glatzine, apologies if I butchered that name, he's going to be playing the He-Man in a long-delayed Master of the Universe film at Amazon MGM. Now, Travis Knight, who directed Bumblebee movie, is going to be the one directing this movie, and it's going to be releasing in theaters in June 5th, 2026. So it's been heavily delayed with this, and I'll be honest, I've not actually seen this actor as well. Not familiar with any of his work in the past, but I've seen He-Man here and there growing up. I'm not like an avid fan of this show, of this character. Like, I've not seen the show in honestly forever, and so this for me isn't one I'm going to be checking out when it comes out. Maybe if I see the trailer and see how it looks, possibly, but right now my excitement level is pretty low when it comes to this, especially because it's been delayed so many times. It's like the Blade situation, which we'll definitely be talking about later on in this video. But with this, again, not too excited or anything like that, but for those of you that are excited, for those of you that like this casting choice, please let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. In terms of your excitement level, will you be checking it out, and what your thoughts are about the actor who's going to be playing He-Man in the movie itself. Okay, now for the next news story, we have a huge announcement when it comes to the Welcome to Derry show, coming from the Deadline, confirming here that Welcome to Derry Bill Skarsgård to reprise his role as Pennywise in the It prequel on Max. Now, there's been a lot of speculation whether Bill Skarsgård is going to be returning to be playing Pennywise, because this is sort of a prequel of when Pennywise did arrive to Earth for the very first time, and there's been just nothing with when it comes to whether he's going to be returning, who's going to be playing Pennywise. Honestly, they haven't even released a trailer yet. They've released a teaser like way back earlier this year, but really nothing concrete when it comes to like the show itself. But now it's confirming that Bill Skarsgård is going to be coming back to be reprising his role as Pennywise, and I think that is a brilliant choice. It is confirming also in the article here that Andy Muschietti, who is the one that directed the It movies, he is going to be directing 4 episodes out of the 9-episode series. And honestly, this just gets me more excited. I was pretty excited with the show itself. I really like the premise, but I was a bit worried in terms of who's going to be playing Pennywise. But now that Bill Skarsgård confirming that he's going to be returning, my excitement level is increased by a lot with this show. I'm really excited to be checking this one out when it does come out. So this has definitely got me more excited for this show. Definitely an excellent choice to have him return. So you see this and you hear this. What are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comment section below. Will you be checking it out? Are you happy that he's going to be coming back? Let me know all of that down below. But the next story we're going to be talking about is an update when it comes to like the Exorcist movies. After the whole situation with Exorcist Believer and that just bombing critically and like audience reactions to it, David Gordon Green left the project. So we have got an update because there was rumors that Mike Flanagan was going to be the one just taking charge of everything. With this basically confirming here, coming from the deadline once again, confirming here that Mike Flanagan is set to direct a radical new take on The Exorcist for Blumhouse. And those interesting word choices to a radical new take. So in the article, it's showing here that the next movie here about demon-possessed people and the Jesuit priests that wrangle them is billed as an all-new story set in the Exorcist universe and is not a sequel to the 2023's Exorcist Believer per the press release. So it's basically just confirming here that they are completely, well, I don't know if they've scrapped it, but whatever happened in The Exorcist Believer, that story, that's basically just been put on hold or has potentially been scrapped, and they're just going with a completely new direction, which I think is the best choice. Like, Mike Flanagan is a brilliant director with so many great projects that he's done in the past, and so with him taking on this role, taking on like a new direction, breathing new life into this franchise, I think that is the best choice. When it comes to like these possession type movies, honestly, they're very generic for me personally. Like, there's only so much you can do, so much originality you can go with it, but I'm actually very curious now to see the kind of role that they're going to do with this, especially with it being just like a completely brand new storyline and brand new direction that they're going to go with it. So this actually gets me a bit more hopeful with the Exorcist franchise, with what they're going to do here. Definitely a good choice by having Mike Flanagan come in instead of David Gordon Green. So you see this and you hear this. What are your thoughts? A, in terms of Mike Flanagan taking on this, and B, what your thoughts are about the kind of new direction they're going to go for, what kind of movie you're hoping to see. Let me know down in the comment section below when it comes to that. But for the next news story we're going to be talking about is honestly a whirlwind or roller coaster of newscasting when it comes to the Knives Out franchise or the Knives Out 3 movie. So this all started basically last week Friday. So when I posted my last week's weekly entertainment news video, they announced the title of the Knives Out 3 movie, basically confirming here that it's going to be called Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery, and it's going to be beginning filming in next month. So then they first announced the casting for this, so coming from the deadline once again, saying here that Josh O'Connor and Kaylee Spaney joins Daniel Craig in the Wake Up Dead Man Knives Out mystery movie. And honestly, when those two first announced, I thought, okay, I've not really seen them in any previous work, so it'll be interesting to see who they're going to be playing, how they're going to be part of the story when it comes to the movie. But then it just kept adding on, because then we got confirmation that Andrew Scott was also casted in the Knives Out 3 movie, who is more well known versus the previous two, but not like a big name actor. But then we also got an announcement that Kerry Washington has joined the Knives Out 3 movie. So along with those four casting, you then had Kerry Washington in here, who's definitely for me more known than the previous one. So I've seen her in 1,000 Words with Eddie Murphy, Django Unchained, all sorts of projects that she was part of. So then she's been added to the cast. So then you've got Kerry Washington, Josh O'Connor, Kaylee Spade, Daniel Craig, Andrew Scott, all part of the movie. And then we thought, okay, that's going to be it for the week. But then they go and announce that Glenn Close, Mila Kunis and Jeremy Renner all casting in this movie. So a huge stacked cast for Knives Out 3 with the announcements here. So you've got Daniel Craig, Josh O'Connor, Kaylee Spaney, Kerry Washington, Andrew Scott, Jeremy Renner, Glenn Close and Mila Kunis all part of this movie. And honestly, when they started announcing the cast, my excitement level wasn't as high, but then throughout the whole course of this week, with just new casting choices being added on there, this is going to be such a fun movie. I was a huge fan of Knives Out 1, Knives Out 2. Granted, I prefer Knives Out 1 over Knives Out 2, but both equally entertaining movies. And then with this one, you can tell this is going to be a fun, exciting, enjoyable movie that's going to have a great cast, just with so many characters bouncing off one another. Really curious to see who Jeremy Renner is going to be playing, but I'm all for it. Most likely we are going to be hearing more casting when it comes to this movie as well. I don't think that's the last of it, but you see this and you hear this. What are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comment section below in terms of your excitement level, who you're most looking forward to seeing out of this casting. Okay, now for the next news story, we have got an update when it comes to like DC side of things here. So James Gunn has actually confirmed who is going to be writing the Lanterns show, basically showing here that it's true. DCU series is putting together a crack team of writers based on a wonderful pilot script and a Bible by Chris Mundy, Tom King and David Lindoff. A hearty welcome to Chris and Damon Lindoff as they join the DC Studios family. Now, if you're not familiar with who they are, basically Chris Mundy is the one that wrote Ozark, a show I really need to check out. I've been hearing nothing but great things on it. But one thing that's really curious and has been catching a lot of people's eyes is Damon Lindoff, who was the one that wrote Lost, a show I really enjoy. I had such a great time with that. I still go back and watch the show from time to time. The ending, honestly, the less said the better when it comes to that ending, but that's just a whole other topic. But a really good writing team with this, so it actually gives me a little bit of hope. There may be some people that aren't fans of the whole Lost show, especially because the latter seasons just took on like a weird turn. I don't disagree, but the show overall, there was some really good writing with it. The show, honestly, it was like 6 seasons I think it was, and honestly the fact that it just like continued and was refreshing and had a lot of different ideas, I could honestly see this being a really good show with like DCU Lanterns, and with the two of them working together, like Chris Mundy, Damon Lindoff. This actually is looking like it's going in a positive direction with the show. So you see this writers, what are your thoughts about it? Will this get you more excited? Are you kind of disappointed? Please let me know all of that in the comment section down below. Okay, now for the next news story, because it's going to be linking in with the other news story. So coming from the Hollywood Reporter, confirming here that martial art Ali is in talks to star in the new Jurassic World movie. So the 2-time Oscar winner will be joining Scarlett Johansson in the latest installment of the Dynamite Universe movie franchise. Now, before we talk about what this means for other projects of his, first of all, let's focus on the Jurassic World movie, and with this, a really good casting choice. There's a lot of rumours speculating that even like Tobin Bell is going to be part of this movie, but you've got him with Scarlett Johansson in there. So I'll be honest, like you've heard me in this channel, you've heard me in these videos, I've not been excited for these Jurassic World movies with this announcements because it feels like they're just rushing it, trying to get it out next year. They want to release it in July of next year, so I'm a little bit worried. But with its casting choice, I'm very curious now to see what kind of direction they're going to go with. They have kept the plot under wraps so far, but it's really interesting to see that Mahershala Ali is going to be joining this project. Curious to see who he's going to be playing, whether it's going to be part of like this unit that Scarlett Johansson is rumoured to be portraying, or it's going to be a completely different character, possibly the Chris Pratt version of this movie. We'll just have to wait and see. But this is not only just curious when it comes to like the Jurassic World movie, because we move on to the final news story. But before we do that, let me know your thoughts about this casting choice for the Jurassic World movie. Does this get you more excited? What are your thoughts about the casting? Let me know down in the comment section below, because this has ramifications when it comes to the Blade movie. Now, this just has been in a production hell for so long. We've actually got some disappointing news when it comes to the movie itself. So this is coming from Daniel RPK, a reliable scooper, but you can also take this with a grain of salt. Basically, he's been confirming last week that Blade is undergoing another round of significant revisions following Michael Green's departure. Marvel is now in search of a new writer nonetheless. The storyline is finalized and filming is scheduled to commence in Mexico or Brazil in the fall of 2024, while casting for a new male villain is underway right now. So they're again working, revising the story, revising a new writer, and it just feels like this is never going to be coming out. The fact that Mahershala Ali is now to be joined in the Jurassic World movie, going to be filming that, because like I said, they want to release that next year, so this is going to be planning on filming this year, and they are planning on still filming Blade this year. So I genuinely have no idea how this is going to work, how he's going to be filming the Jurassic World movie and the Blade movie at the same time. So it's definitely worrying signs when it comes to the Blade movie. I feel like they're going to delay it once again, or honestly at this point they might even be looking for like a new actor to play Blade, because Mahershala Ali, and I genuinely don't blame him, might even just walk away from the project itself, because this movie was announced in 2019. It's been 5 years. He's been waiting 5 years to try and get this movie going, and it's just been disaster after disaster, rewrite after rewrite, director after director, writer after writer, and it's just, I genuinely feel bad for Mahershala Ali. I'm excited for this, and maybe they're doing this because they see the reaction to Deadpool 3 being rated R and they want to go for that rating as well, have it where it's similar to like Deadpool, and that's the reason why this is happening. That's pure speculation on my end, but this is going to be very interesting in the next couple of weeks to see where this is going to go when it comes to Blade. So of course any changes we'll definitely be talking about in the weekly entertainment news video, but you see this and you hear this, what are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comment section below. Are you worried about the Blade movie? What do you think this all means? Let me know all of that in the comment section down below. But that about wraps it up for this week's weekly entertainment news video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Again, let me know your thoughts on everything in the comment section down below. And again, we'll be on the live stream tomorrow for Anthony Perez's live stream talking about the Avengers Infinity War. So would love to, again, to have you all there. And once again, if you're new to the channel, do consider hitting that subscribe button. But thank you all so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. This is YK Reviews. Peace.